Now, I'm going to finish up on one last question because it is a good one and leading into some of the other work that we're doing. And it is from someone who will definitely be a panelist or a guest on this show at one point, the great Ross Cameron. And Ross says, Campbell mentions the likelihood the election campaign will move from COVID to climate change. Along with COVID and climate, what do the lads think are the key battlegrounds of the 2022 campaign, and how is the 10-point plan coming along? And by the 10-point plan, we're talking about the new Freedom Manifesto. I get so many emails from people saying, what are your policies? Where are your policies? Everybody, our policies are being updated and simplified. And I know John Ruddick has been working with the policy wonks about our new 10-point Freedom Manifesto. Leave it over to you, John.
Well, look, just a couple of ones which are worth highlighting. So we're going to really focus. I mean, we're not a major party that's got to come out with a detailed policy on every single little policy there is out there. We're going to focus on 10 policies. So obviously one of them is going to be about COVID. One of them is going to be about energy, cheap energy. But a couple of others I would like to highlight now is we are going to support recall elections. Now, not many countries have recall elections, but the really great democracies do. Like the best democracy on the planet is actually Switzerland in terms of how they, it's a very decentralized country. And it's also, not coincidentally, a very successful country, very harmonious country. But a recall election would be that, and look, there was recently one in California. If you have an election and you've got, say, a member of parliament, or look, let's talk about what happened in California recently. So they had an election 2 years ago. The incumbent governor was considered unpopular. Now, then they needed to have about somewhere between 5 and 10% of every registered voter in California to sign a petition saying, we don't like the job he's doing and we want to have a fresh election. Now, 5 to 10% does not sound like a big hurdle. It actually is a big logistical issue, problem. And and half the states in America have recall elections, and they do not happen often, but they do happen occasionally. So we would have it so we can recall a parliament if we have a sufficient number of people signing a petition, or we can recall a particular politician. Now, this is the key thing. It's going to happen really rarely, but just the fact that it's in place is going to be a check on political power. Politicians are going to be a little bit more reluctant and a little bit careful if they know that they could, and this is one of the bad things about fixed terms. You can be in, you can think, I'm not going to be kicked out for 4 years and no one can do anything about it. Okay, well, a recall election can do something about it, and that's one of the things we're going to champion. And then another thing is the surveillance state. We're going to very much wind back the surveillance state. We're certainly going to be proposing it. And, things that have been getting passed recently, and all these surveillance things came in after 9/11, and we had the war on terror. And for about 10 years after 9/11, every 9 months, somewhere in the world, including Bali on our doorstep, Spain, France, England, there was a big dramatic terrorist attack, and it freaked us all out. And I can remember at the time saying, go for it, government, go for it. Bring in all these surveillance laws. We need to stop these terrorists. And a small number of people, including the Liberal Democrats, people like David Leyonhjelm, were warning, saying, okay, well, look, if you've got to do this, let's have a sunset clause so when it expires. But there's no sunset clause. And surprise, surprise, the legislation was designed to catch terrorists who wanted to drop a nuclear bomb on us. Now who's it going to get? Well, the way it's going, it's going to be getting kids that haven't worn a mask before too long.
I totally agree, John. And this is one of the things that people don't understand about many things in politics. When there's these emergencies and these powers come in, they never go away. That's what I'm so scared about with the pandemic. The government has gotten so used to using these extraordinary powers, and we have to fight tooth and nail to make sure that they're all removed, and then some if we can do that, but we have to fight it.
And just very quickly chipping in, that's exactly the case. And I've seen it up close. We don't have time tonight to talk about it, but I've seen absolutely the results of power and then overreach. But I'll point out one to you that's going on at the moment that we've seen. That is these damn QR codes that were brought in for public health. We've had at least one police service in this nation using them to track criminals or, or people they think are criminals. It's just not on,
They love it. They love it. The governments love these QR codes, and there's no sunset talk about them, is there?
No.
You know what they're using them for in Victoria? They're running a trial at the moment. They're linking them to your immunisation record and using it as a way of excluding you from businesses. They're testing it in regional Victoria right now. My only optimism on that is that their entire system depends on a government IT project being completed on time, which anyone who's been involved in government IT projects will know that's just a fantasy. So I'm sort of hoping that incompetence will save us there. But
it never happened.